Welcome to Lesson 114, Real-World Problems with the Order of Operations. Today's objective, I will be able to use the order of operations to solve problems. Right, so the other day we talked about the order of operations and how we use PEMDAS to help us remember what the order of operations is. So we have parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. And again, we always want to remember that multiplication and division are in the same step, and addition and subtraction are in the same step. Now, there's not really ever going to be a time in life where somebody comes up to you on the street and says, here, solve this problem. So we want to take a look at where the order of operations really comes into play in real life. So the first problem that I'm giving you is kind of our warm-up problem. So we have to look again, get our highlighters out, and look at what information is important in here. You buy 2 red rainbow marbles for 50 cents each, 3 bumblebee marbles for 90 cents each, and 2 tricolor marbles for 65 cents each. Write an expression, then find the total cost of the marbles. The first thing we want to do is decide what information is important. Is it important that we bought 2 red rainbow marbles for 50 cents each? Yes. Now, is the fact that they're red rainbow marbles important? No. But because it's easier just to highlight this information right here, we go ahead and highlight it just together. Otherwise, it would look like this. So if we did 3 for 90 cents each. So whichever you prefer is fine with me. If you want to highlight this whole spot and highlight all this, that's fine. Or if you just want to highlight the 3 and the 90 cents, it's up to you. Just make sure you remember what goes with what. Okay, and then we have 2 tricolor marbles for 65 cents each. And then the other important part is that we have to write an expression, then find the total cost of the marbles. The key part here, write an expression. This is the part that a lot of students like to skip. However, I need to know that you can write this expression so that way we can move on to more complicated problems in the future. All right, so we know that if we have 2 red rainbow marbles for 50 cents each, that we have to take the 2 marbles that we're purchasing and multiply that by the 50 cents. Remember, we have to write it as 50 cents each. Okay, and then I would have to add to that the 3 bumblebee marbles that I'm buying for 90 cents each. Now it's really important here that I put the pieces together that belong together. Now I know that 2 and 50 cents belong together, so I can't put the 2 over here by the 90 and leave the 50 by itself, because then all of a sudden I have 3 times 90 cents times 2, and that's not what we're trying to do here. We only want to multiply these 2 numbers together, okay, and then these 2 numbers together. We also don't need parentheses here because since the order of operations tells us that multiplication comes first, we know that first we would have to do 2 times 50 cents, and then whatever we get, we would have to add that to 3 times 90 cents. So we have to do this first, then this. And that's the same for the 2 tricolor marbles that we purchased for 65 cents. Now I know that I want to add all of these together because I'm looking for the total cost. So we look for that word total, and that helps us determine that we are looking for the sum of all of this. Okay, the order of operations then tells us that we have to do 2 times 50 cents, which I know gives me $1. Bring down everything I haven't used. Now this is what I was trying to explain before. I can't do $1 plus 3 yet because I still have to finish all the multiplication. The next multiplication is 3 times 90. 3 times 90 cents. 3 times 90 cents is going to be $2.70. Bring down the addition sign because I haven't used that yet. Bring down the dollar because I haven't used that yet. Bring down the addition sign, the 2, multiplication, and the 65 cents. Again, it's still addition, addition, multiplication. Multiplication comes first. So 2 times 65 cents. Okay, so I'm going to bring down my dollar, bring down my $2.70, and then 2 times 65 cents is going to give me $1.30. Now I can go ahead and add all of these together. First, I add the dollar plus the $2.70, which gives me $3.70. Then I need to add that to my $1.30, and that is going to give me $5. Okay, so up here is my expression, and down here is my answer. So on a test or on practice work, if I was looking for the expression and the answer, then on my answer line I would have to have this and this. All my work would be shown on a separate sheet of paper. Alright, let's take a look at another problem that's a little bit more complicated. The math club makes 35 bars of laundry soap a week and sells these at $20 each. Before the soap can be sold, the pupils found out that 6 bars were destroyed by mice. How much will be the total sale at the end of 4 weeks, a 4-week month? Write an expression and show your work and answer. Okay, so it's important to know that 35 bars of laundry soap a week is what they make. It's important to know that they sell for $20 each. Okay, it's important to know that 6 bars were destroyed. Is it important to know that they were destroyed by mice? No, just that they were destroyed, because now we know that we cannot sell them. And then it's also important to know the question, how much will be the total sale at the end of a 4-week month? Alright, so we have to put our pieces together here. So they make 35 bars of laundry soap a week. So 35 per week. And then minus the 6 that were ruined. Okay, see how we can write this out in words and kind of get a better snapshot of what we're looking for. And we're looking for a 4-week period. So if I make 35 bars per week, I know that, and I know that I'm looking for 4 weeks, I know that I have to do 35 times 4. That's going to get me how many I made. Okay. Now I also have to remember that they sell for $20 per bar. Now up in the problem, the $20 comes first. However, they found out that they couldn't sell 6 of the bars. So if we don't put the minus 6 right here, then it's going to come out incorrectly, because then what it looks like is it looks like this. If we were to do times the $20 a piece minus 6, now all of a sudden you've made 35 bars times the 4 weeks times $20 a piece. Now you've collected money for every single bar that you made, and you're only subtracting $6. But these aren't $6, these are 6 bars. So we have to put all the bar information together. So what this means is, now that we're doing the 35 times 4 to get the total amount of bars, now we have to subtract the 6 that were ruined by the mice. Now that whole thing is going to be multiplied by $20 a piece, because this right here is going to tell us the total amount of bars that were made. So in order to make sure, because yes, we want to do times 20, but if I leave it like this, I have to do 6 times 20 first, and that's also incorrect. So in order to do this correctly, I have to put 35 times 4 minus 6 in parentheses because I first need to know how many bars we made total before I can multiply that by how much we sell them for. Right, so this is my expression. Now to solve it, I do everything in the parentheses first. And inside the parentheses, it tells me to do multiplication first. So first I have to do 35 times 4, which is going to give me 140. Okay, minus 6. This is all still in parentheses because I didn't finish all the operations in there. Bring down what I haven't used. 140 minus 6 is going to give me 134. So that tells me that out of the 140 bars that they made, they were able to use 134 of them. So that's my total number of bars. Now I can find my total sales by taking that 134 bars that we were able to make times the $20 that we sell them for a piece. And that is going to give me $2,680. I'm sorry, yes, $2,680. Okay, again, had we not put these parentheses in here, or if we had lined these up any other way, we wouldn't have come out with the correct amount of money. So you always have to remember, you have to keep the information bits together. So we had to keep the number of bars per week, the number of bars ruined, and the number of weeks all together in order to get the correct total amount of bars. Okay, this is a little bit difficult. However, the more we work with this and the more you practice, the better off you're going to be. All right, to post tonight, you are going to post your own expression and answer to this problem. Okay, a group of 25 students and 3 adults goes to an art museum. Admission costs $6 per student and $9 per adult. There is also a $15 discount for groups of 20 or more. If the group came with $200 to pay for the admission, how much do they have left over? Again, you're going to write an expression first. Okay, so just like we did back here, first we wrote this expression, and then we found the answer. So that's what I need to see on Edmodo. I need to see the expression and then the answer. If you need to, when you're drawing or when you're putting a multiplication sign on there, do not use an X. Okay, you can actually use the 8 key. If you hit Shift 8, it will show you an asterisk. Okay, so make sure that you use an asterisk for your multiplication sign, not an X. And again, if you have any questions, please make sure to post them to Edmodo, and we can go over them tomorrow.